I actually started off as an artist to begin with, so I just wanted to get into the games industry, and I had experience previously doing CGI and all that kind of thing, and so yeah. But as I got into it and started to sort of find my role, to begin with, I was doing concepts and that kind of thing, and as I just saw the game develop, I was thinking, well, the level designer seems like that's where it's all happening, really. It seems like that's where all the parts of the game were coming together. So that's when I asked and said, look, would I be able to transfer over to the design side? And they very kindly said yes. And so I just sort of started playing around. And in the end of it, I actually ended up leading the team. I think it was a nice thing about it was that it was the studio was really small then. I think I was about number 11 or something like that in the team, so things were established but still quite open. So, and that's the thing which I really like about small teams, is that you can move around, and they always wanted to have people who were quite multidisciplinary in what they did. So it just meant that you don't get sort of pigeonholed into one role, and that really suited me well.
Right. Did that sort of draw you to Media Molecule? Like, what made you join them?
It's a funny thing. It was actually like me starting to want to work in the games industry was I saw Spore. I don't know if you remember that game, but Will Wright's Spore. And that's when I thought, oh my gosh, that's what you can do with games. And I think it was just around about that time was a real raft of very innovative games. And when I started thinking about where I'd like to work, I'd heard sort of nightmare stories where you could work in sort of places where you're a big production place where you're sort of modeling blades of grass and stuff like that. And I was like, that's not really me. And I remember seeing an advert in Edge magazine, and they had this sort of ice cream graphic, and it had individual names as each one of those little balls of ice cream, and it had names on it. And then at the top it sort of said there was a hole. That was it. There was a hole, and it said "you" on it. And that was when I thought, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I wanted. And yeah, and then weirdly at the same time, there was I was at a barbecue, and a friend of mine, I knew he worked in the games industry, said, oh yeah, my friends have set up a games company, you should apply. And it turned out to be the same place. And I don't know, there was something throughout the whole thing. There was something very, I don't know, like cosmic about the whole thing. It just felt like it had to happen. Lots of weird synchronicities and things like that. So I applied and got in. It was amazing.
Oh.
But funny enough, actually, I was also, in terms of getting in, because before that I'd had experience doing architectural work, and it was in sort of CGI and modeling the buildings and all that kind of thing. So it was the same software as 3D Studio Max I was using, but I didn't have any experience doing sort of characters or any of that kind of thing. So I actually just made a short film for my short show reel. So the idea was that I could learn all the skills beforehand and then have something to prove that I could do it. And so I made that short film, and just, it was just finding all sorts of tutorials and things like that. And that's what I showed them in order to get in. So yeah, it was quite an amazing time.